I'd like to share with you a Talmudic story that is taken from the section in the Talmud known as blessings, and it speaks about a particular kind of blessing. On a certain day, the king of Israel was expected to travel through the village, and all the villagers gathered together to see him go by. Although blind, Rabbi Sheshet joined the others as they waited patiently for the king's arrival. Knowing that the great rabbi was blind, a cynic asked, "People take vessels to the river to fetch water. But of what use is it to take a broken vessel to the river?" The blind rabbi understood what the man's negative remark really meant. What's the point of a blind person waiting to see the king? Rabbi Sheshet answered, "Foolish man, I will demonstrate to you that not only will I know when the king arrives, but I'm capable of understanding what is happening better than you, a person of vision." When the legions of soldiers appeared, the cynic joined the crowd in shouting, "The king is coming! The king is coming!" "No, he isn't," the blind rabbi said. And as predicted, the legion passed by without the king. A second legion marched down the road toward the center of the village, and again the cynic and the crowd shouted, "The king is coming!" Again, the rabbi said the king was not coming, and once more, that turned out to be true. A third legion marched by, and this time the crowd fell silent. But Rabbi Sheshet explained, "Now the king is coming." When he saw the king, the puzzled cynic asked, "How were you, a blind person, able to tell?" The rabbi answered, "We learned from the Torah that once long ago, Israel waited for God to pass by. When a powerful wind blew through the mountains, even great rocks were shattered to small stones, but Adonai was still not in the wind. Then after the wind, an earthquake came, but God was not in the earthquake. Then there came a fire, but the heavenly sovereign was not in the fire. After the fire," the rabbi continued, "a still small voice was heard, and God was found in the hush." It was in the hush of today's crowd that informed me that the king was coming. As the procession passed by, Rabbi Sheshet offered an appropriate blessing for the king he could not see. But the cynic understood that the blind rabbi was indeed also blessed. I think this story teaches us something special about those who we sometimes consider disabled or unabled or differently abled. It is true that someone may not have the same abilities that we have, but sometimes that may make them even greater in other abilities that perhaps we have, but they have it even better. The point is that each and every person is unabled in some way. And so all of us are to be valued and treated with respect and compassion and admiration, no matter what we can or cannot do. We are all given special gifts by God by which to enter into the world and use our gifts to make the world a little bit better. Let us not judge others by what they can't do, but instead let us judge others by what they can do. That's today's lesson. For me, I wish your family health and goodness and happiness, and let's keep studying and listening to the words of our ancient sages that express so much wisdom and so much understanding even today.